Hi, my name is Ed Thompson. This video is designed to help you get started using Matillion ETL for Redshift in your own AWS account. In this video, we're going to set up AWS using one of our standard CloudFormation templates. So without further ado, let's get started. To get started with Matillion ETL for Redshift, we first need to find the AWS Marketplace. AWS Marketplace can be thought of as an app store for business apps available on the AWS platform. There are thousands of apps available. This is the Marketplace homepage. To find Matillion from here, search for Matillion, and we can see we've got Matillion ETL for Redshift and Snowflake. For this video, we're going to concentrate on Matillion ETL for Redshift. This is the Matillion ETL for Redshift Marketplace page. You can get an overview of the product here. You can see the details around pricing. You can look at your options around usage of the product. There's details about getting in touch with support, and I'd absolutely encourage you to read our reviews. Let's take a look at pricing first off. Matillion ETL for Redshift is available at 3 price points. The medium, which supports 2 concurrent users, starts at $1.37 an hour. A large instance that supports 5 concurrent users starts at $2.74 an hour. And finally, an extra large, which will support up to 12 concurrent users, starts at $5.48 an hour. Those prices do not include the infrastructure costs of the EC2 infrastructure that will be running Matillion ETL. It's also possible to pay for Matillion annually, and again we have 3 price points here. Next, let's take a look at how we actually deploy Matillion ETL. Amazon provide 4 fulfillment options for Matillion ETL for Redshift. The 64-bit Amazon machine image is suitable for customers who are experienced in AWS, who are deploying Matillion into an existing infrastructure, or simply like to build everything themselves. In addition, Matillion provide 3 CloudFormation templates. These are designed to make it easy to build the infrastructure required for Matillion ETL automatically. Let's take a look at these 3 options. First, we have our Getting Started template. This is designed for new users to get started, try the product out, and run a proof of concept. The template will automatically create a new VPC or virtual private cloud, a Redshift cluster, and an instance of Matillion that can be medium for 2 users, large for 5 users, or extra large for 12 users. If you're a first-time user of Matillion, this will be a 14-day free trial. Next, we have our single instance template. This is designed for production environments where high availability and clustering are not required. The template will automatically create a new VPC with multiple subnets and a Redshift cluster, an RDS Postgres database in master and slave configuration, and an instance of Matillion. That can be large for 5 users or extra large for 12 users. If you're a first-time user of Matillion, this will be on a 14-day free trial. Finally, we have our clustered and highly available template. This is designed for production environments where high availability and clustering are required and relies on multiple instances of Matillion acting as a single server. The template will automatically create a new VPC with multiple subnets, a Redshift cluster, an RDS Postgres database in master and slave configuration, and 2 instances of Matillion ETL behind a load balancer. These instances can be for large for 10 users or extra large for 24 users. For the remainder of this video, I'll take you through the setup of a single instance CloudFormation template. Not every user is going to use the single instance CloudFormation template, but the process is very similar for all CloudFormation templates. If you wish to build your infrastructure yourself using the Amazon machine image, please see the video Getting Started with Matillion ETL for Redshift using an AMI. Let's look at how we set up Matillion ETL for Redshift using a CloudFormation template. From the AWS Marketplace page, click Continue to subscribe. This will take you through to the subscription page and click Manual Launch to get started. In the Manual Launch, we choose our software pricing, just hourly or annual at this point. We choose our version. It's always best to choose the latest. And we choose our region. I'm going to set that to EU Ireland. Then we choose our CloudFormation template. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to choose the single instance template. Remember, the Getting Started template is the simplest. If you want to build a cluster or highly available version of Matillion, use the cluster highly available, but the single instance will build as a production single instance environment for Matillion. Now I click Launch with the CloudFormation console. This takes me over into the AWS console in the CloudFormation section. This screen can be a little bit confusing. Basically, you can ignore it and just click Next. Now we're ready to specify the details of our Matillion ETL stack. First of all, I need to give it a stack name. So this is going to be my dev stack, so I'll call it Matillion ETL dev. I'm going to choose the instance size. For the single instance stack, you can choose large and extra large instance sizes. This is because we only support using large and extra large instance sizes when the database is external on a Postgres database. I'm going to choose my key pair. This CloudFormation template is going to build a virtual private cloud for us across multiple availability zones. The availability zones are important because the database will be replicated on 2 availability zones to ensure availability and redundancy. In this instance, I'm going to choose availability zones A and B to replicate our data across. The public subnet, the private subnet can be left as they are. The inbound CIDR, if we want to make this wide open for the public, I'm going to just set it to 000/0. In your instance, you may want to lock that down a little bit more. This CloudFormation template will also create and configure a Redshift cluster for us. The key parameters are here. I'm just going to set the master password. Then I'm going to do the same for the RDS repository configuration. This is the repository on RDS that the CloudFormation template will create that stores all of Matillion's configuration. Take a note of the password that you've set for both Redshift and the RDS configuration, and then we're ready to go and launch our CloudFormation stack. On the final screen, you can review all the settings that you've set in the stack, and you will need to click the acknowledge that the AWS CloudFormation might create IAM resources for this particular template. And then click Create. To go and see your stack being created, you can click on CloudFormation and select Stacks. If you refresh the CloudFormation stack, you'll see that the stack create in progress. If you click on the stack, you can see the output of all of the resources being created. Stack creation will probably take about 10 minutes. Okay, so our CloudFormation template is complete. It says status create complete. And once the CloudFormation template is completed, the tab you want is the Outputs tab. So select the CloudFormation template and click Outputs. And all of the outputs that you need to know about your Matillion instance are set here. So you can see the connection details for getting to the Redshift cluster, the private instance IP address, the username, the connection string for connecting to the Postgres database. But the important thing for this one is the EC2 instance public endpoint. If you right-click on that and click Open in New Tab, in the new tab, you can see I've got the Matillion up and running. So now I can enter EC2 user as the username. And for the password, I'm going to use the instance ID. Again, that is displayed in the output. So I can select that and enter that as the instance ID and click Login. And this will take me into Matillion. The first screen that you'll see in Matillion is the Create Project screen. And I'm just going to create my first project. So I'm going to call the project group First Project. And we'll call the project name the same. And I'm going to include the samples. We won't create a private project. And I'm going to create a link through to my Redshift cluster. I'll just call it Redshift. And then I can just select the cluster from the drop-down list here, and it'll pick out my Redshift cluster, and it'll fill in most of the details for me. I'm just going to put in the password. And I'm going to click test to make sure that's working. Yes, it is. And now I can click OK. This will create my first project, create my environment, and I'm ready to start using Matillion ETL to build ETLs for Redshift. Great, so now we've got Matillion ETL for Redshift up and running in our AWS account. The next video will guide you through building your first job in Matillion ETL. If you need more information, visit matillion.com.